Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. This is part 30 of the e-commerce app playlist. In this video, we're going to implement the place order button click. So when the user clicks on that button, we want to create an order and store that order inside that collection. So let's actually do that. First of all, we would like to start with creating the order class, which is a data class. So inside the data package, let's create a new package and call this order because we're going to create two classes for this one. The first one is order, so it's a data class, and in here each order is going to have the status for the order, so we can say val order status, and if this is a string, we also need the total price, which is a float. We need the list of the products, and this is a cart product, and we also want the address. Now we can delete these curly brackets and we need to create another class. Let's call this order status. And this is a sealed class. In here we're going to wrap the states of the order that the order might go through. So let's actually have an argument here called status, which is a string, and now we want to create objects. The first one is ordered, and we extend from order status and we pass ordered. Duplicate this. The second one is cancelled. However, feel free to add any state you want for your order. We pass that in here, and confirmed, pass that. We also have shipped, delivered, we pass that in here, and finally we have returned. So these are the states that I've thought of. If you have any other states, you just can add them in here. Okay, now let's close this, and we want to create the order view model. So inside the view model package, create order view model, and inside here let's annotate this with health view model, and we want to inject some dependencies. So we want the Firestore, which is Firebase Firestore, and we want the Firebase authentication. Now let's actually create our state, which is mutable state flow, resource of order, and we can pass resource.unspecified as an initial value. Here we can expose this state. Okay, now let's create a function to add or to create an order. So let's say function place order, and here we're going to get the order. First thing, let's emit the loading state, but here we need to extend from view model, so let's do that. And let's actually now create a view model scope. In here we can say order.emit resource.loading. And now let's actually think what we're gonna do when the user clicks on a place order. First of all, we wanna add that order inside the user order collection. So we wanna create a sub collection called order for that specific user and add that order inside it. Then we also wanna add that order inside a generic order collection. So later on, if you wanna implement the admin side of this app, it's gonna be tricky to retrieve the orders and show them inside the admin panel. So for that, I actually gonna create a generic order collection and add this order into it. And third thing you wanna do is to delete all the products inside the cart collection. So let's actually do that. And as I told you before in this playlist, when you have many operations you wanna do on your Firestore, you actually need to think of transaction or a batch. So in this case, we're gonna run a batch. Why not a transaction? Well, because we're not gonna read anything. We're only gonna write to our Firestore database. So we're gonna run a batch now, firestore.run batch, And to remind you, we run a batch or we run a transaction when we want to do more than one thing in our Firestore. And if one thing failed, everything else in this block will fail. So that's why we run a batch or we run a transaction. And the batch used only for writes, transaction used for write and read. So in here we can say batch. And now let me just create some comments or to-do functions to also clear what are we gonna do, because it sounds a little bit confusing. So first of all, we want to add the order into the user orders collection. Then we want to add the order into orders collection. And finally, delete the products from user cart collection. So let's do this. Let's start with the first one. We want to add the product inside the sub collection, the orders collection inside each user document. So in here we can say Firestore dot collection. We want to access the user collection. Then we can say document, and we want to access the user document. So authentication dot UID. Then we can say collection. We want to create the orders, or we want to access the orders collection if it was created. Then we want to create a new document for that order, and we can set that order. So you can say set order. We've done this. Now let's move to this. Add the order into orders collection. So we can say Firestore.collection. We want to access or create this collection, which is orders. And then we can say document. Then we set the order. Okay, we've done this. Now let's move to this, which is deleting the products cart collection. Now we can't actually delete an entire collection in Firestore. This is not available. And for that, we need to delete each document inside that collection. So we'll have a loop on our documents and delete each document. So let's do that. First of all, we want to retrieve all the documents inside that collection. Let's first access that, which is user document. We want to access the user document. Then we can say collection. We want to access the cart collection. And now we can say get add on success listener. In here we can say it.documents.forEach, and we can say it.delete or it.reference.delete. This is how we can create. This is how we can delete all the documents inside a specific collection. And that's it actually for this batch. Now we can say add, or here actually, add on success listener. In here we can say view model scope dot launch. We can say order dot emit resource dot success. We can send the order. On failure, we can copy this, but we will change it to error, and we send the message of that exception. Now let's go to the billing fragment, and inside here we want to set a click listener on our button. So in here actually, let's do that. You can say binding dot button place order dot set on click listener. In here we want to actually get the address first. So let's go up here, and we actually can get the selected address. We can say private var selected address, which is an address, and let's make this null initially. And we also want the view model, so private val order view model by view models, and we want to get the order view model. Now as you can see, we have two view models in this fragment. For that, I will just refactor the name of this one and call it billing view model. So billing view model. Now let's go down here. We want to get the selected address, so we can say we want to get our adapter, address adapter dot onClick, and here we can update our selected address. Now finally in here we check if the selected address equals to null. Then we're gonna say to the user that we can just show a toast message we can say please select an address, and we also want to return from this function. Else than that, we can show our confirmation dialog. So show order confirmation dialog. Let's create this, and inside here let's actually go to the cart fragment, and we want to copy this dialog in here. This dialog, we want to copy it. We have already built that inside the cart fragment, so I don't want to build it again in here. It would be better if you just go to the dialog package, and inside here you can create a new Kotlin file and create an extension function like we did in here, and put this setup inside the extension function. Then you can call it from any fragment you want. Okay, now let's get back here and let's change the text in here. So delete item, we want to change this to order items. In here we can say, do you want to order your cart items? Inside the positive button, we can say view model or order view model dot place order. But in here we actually wanna create our order object. So let's say order equals to order, this one, and we wanna pass the order status. We can get it from order status dot initially. Let's make this ordered dot status. And we want to pass the total price, so total price, the list of our products, so we can say products, and finally the address, we can pass the selected address. This won't be null because we've made a check in here. Now we can actually send the order. Okay, now this will work, but we also want to have a listener on our state to show the loading animation for that button. So let's do that in here. Let's say lifecycle scope dot launch when it started, order view model dot order dot collect latest. In here I'm gonna copy this one, paste it, and we're just gonna change this to binding dot button place order dot start animation. In here we want to revert the animation, and we also want to navigate back. So we can say find nav controller.navigate up. Then we can also show a toast, or we can actually show a snack bar dot make. We pass the required view, and here we also pass the text. So we can say order or your order was placed. We specify the duration, so make it long, then we call show. In the error case, we just can also revert the animation and keep this line. And I believe that this is it for this fragment, and after all, just annotate this with entry point so you don't get any error. Now let's launch the app, and everything should actually work. I will also open Firestore to see the data. Okay, so as you can see, this is Firestore. This is the account that I'm logged in. So what will happen here when I click on place order, we will create a sub collection for this user with this email. Inside here there will be a new sub collection. Also, we'll also create a collection, a generic collection under this user collection called orders. So that order will be added in both of these collections, the generic collection and the sub collection of that user. We're also gonna delete the cart collection. We don't have that yet, so let's add some more products. So let's add this one, for example. Let's add this. Let's add this. Now let's see the cart collection. Okay, here's the cart collection. Here are the products that we have added. Now let's actually place the order. Let's go here, check out. We click on place order. We get please select an address. We select, for example, home. For the total price, we should only show 2 decimal numbers in here, so only 15.9. I'm not gonna do that, I'll leave it to you because we've done that before. You just need to copy and paste. Anyways, so now let's actually place our order. We show this dialog, click on yes, and yeah, as you can see, we actually deleted the items from our cart. So we get this message, your cart shopping is empty, and we got that snack bar. Now let's go to the Firestore console, and as you can see, if I just refresh this, okay, you could actually see that we have created two sub-collections, the orders collection here and the orders collection here. So this one inside our user, and which has the order, as you can see, all the information about that order, and also for our generic collection here, the same thing, it has all the information about that order. So later on, if you want to build the admin side of this application, you can just retrieve these orders to show the orders, and you can also filter them according to the order status. So if you want to get the orders, all the orders that was ordered, you can just filter them according to this. And if you want to get the orders that were confirmed, you also can filter confirmed here. And yeah, so that's why I created this generic collection. So if you want to build the admin side of this application, you can just retrieve this orders collection. Okay guys, so that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you have a great day and catch you in the next one.